Okay guys, so first off, thanks to Otacon for sending me this replay to do an analysis of. I hope you guys get something out of it, as well as you, Otacon. So, in this game, Otacon is playing as MikeHunt, that is his name here, so he is yellow, and his teammate is Shizzle Bizzle. So I'm just going to go over a few points that I noticed in this game that affected the outcome. First thing that I want you guys to pay attention to, especially you, Otacon, is the score here and when it changes. So you have the advantage over Trigger here in a lot of instances, but because of some decisions on where you choose to attack and how you attack, Trigger is able to stay in this game. I think that Shizzle is more to blame than you are, but you still contributed to that. So I started here at about the 9-minute mark, because the beginning of the game was pretty standard, but from here, mostly I want you to pay attention to the scoreboard, and I will pause and talk. Okay, so right now notice that Otacon, or MikeHunt here, he has the lead over Trigger by a few hundred. Shizzle was really close to Tormented 1 in score. He's down a little bit. Okay, good. Okay, so he got some great feed there. Okay, so you're down here, you're attacking. Okay, your score, okay, look at that lead you have right now. And look where you're attacking. You're attacking in your lane, and you have Trigger by 600 points right now. And Shizzle, his score went up when he decided to attack his lane. Okay, let's keep watching. Okay, still attacking your lane, good. Okay, he should be doing a better job of attacking orange. He should not be engaging Trigger. Okay, now question is why did you come up here? You're getting a lot better feed in the corner. You're not being attacked at your base. You're not being threatened at the moment. You get a lot more points here. Now watch what happens with score. Let's keep watching. Okay. I mean, you still have the lead, but that lead did shrink. Let's keep watching. Okay, back up to the middle. Okay, notice that lead is getting smaller. Okay, once again, why is he taking this fight? Orange has a lot lower score, and it's his lane. He could be getting so much feed right here, your partner. If you could be telling your partner to stay in his lane, A, he'll get a lot more points, and B, he'll be getting rid of Trigger's feed because this is Trigger's lane. So he'll be hindering Trigger and helping himself if he just stays in his lane. That'll help so much. And same thing here. Okay, so Trigger, okay, your guys' score is almost identical now. But you've come back down to your lane. Okay, boom. Got a lot of points. Good. Okay, once again. Why? Come here. You have a lot better chance of getting more feed down here. Same with your teammate. He should be up here. If he's killing these guys, Trigger can't feed. And he gets more money. Also, the reason why Trigger actually benefits from these engagements is because you are focusing on supply, okay? Let's look at your upgrades. 55228. Now let's look at Trigger's upgrades. 88946. Okay, so when you and Trigger engage, yes, you have more supply, so you eventually win the fight, but Trigger gets so much more points from those engagements than you do. His units tear through yours because he has a significant upgrade advantage over you. So some people like the supply. I'm not going to say going for the supply is a bad move, but if you're going to go for this, I don't take those engagements against Trigger. Okay. Right here at the 12-minute mark, from what I noticed, is where things really start. What is this? Anyhow, where things start changing here. Okay, so you're fighting, okay. Okay, that wasn't bad. Okay. By not staying here, where's purple? He is now feeding into blue. So you're actually helping blue get ahead of your teammate brown by not staying on bottom left. If you just stayed on bottom left, blue would have 0 feed because you could dominate blue and these guys down here if you just stayed down here. Okay, you're fighting across diagonal again. So is your teammate. Okay, good. Good. When you stay down here, your score does really well. And this, like I said, your teammate's more to blame for this than you are. He goes across map, he aggroes them, feeds them, and then they come across because your teammate aggroed them. And then what happens? You have to come back. If you could tell your teammate to stay in his lane, he would be so much more effective as a teammate. He'd be hindering Trigger so much just by doing that. Okay, you take the fight here in the middle, and look at the score. Okay, you're technically ahead by what, 35? But it's because Trigger has the upgrade advantage by quite a bit. So I know Trigger is a very intimidating player, but try to stay in your lane. Look at all that feed. If Brown was up here, all of that would not be given to them right now because he would be taking from that. So much feed. Oh gosh. Okay, good. And now notice, when you decide to switch, you take the lead again. You come because you came back to your lane. Okay, in that case, when Trigger was the one that came across map, he was the one that hurt. Look at your score. You're almost 600 ahead of him again because he was the one that came across map, not you. But you spent way too much time in this game over on their side of the map, way over here. When you're playing defense on this side, okay, look, back to the middle. Trigger catches back up. Okay, you should not be over here. Good. Come back down. No. You should be pushing here, getting your feet off of here. You have no reason. Look, you're 500 ahead. And where'd that lead go? Now we're 200 difference. And you're giving blue some feed here. Yes, you cancel that. Okay, look, now Trigger's got the lead. Why are you guys doing this? What are you looking to accomplish here? Solid defense. You know these guys aren't going to do jack, so they're just feeding. You guys are just feeding. Look at blue's score. Brown was fairly even with blue for most of this game, but it's when you guys started all of this across the map stuff that blue was able to get an advantage because he was able to defend and get feed off of that. So why are you guys still over there? Now Trigger's got the lead. Okay. If Brown just stayed in his lane, he'd have so much more money. Like I've said 1,000 times. Okay, look at blue score. You just gave them both so much money. Do not cross map like that. Okay, let's take a second look at upgrades. 11, 13, 7, 2. 14, 18, 11, 6. Okay. Massive difference. You're still going for supply. Okay, now you're attacking your lane. Now let's watch what happens. Okay, why are you coming back across map? You were, okay, for one, getting rid of your lane is always a beneficial thing. As you saw at the end of the game, which I'll go over again, it hurt you. So staying in your lane, take them out, and then you have all of this to expand. And these guys haven't been hitting you all game. You know they're aggroing top. So you don't have to worry about them. Hey, come in. Gave blue and pink some money. Okay, then you came back down here. Boom. You take the lead again. Why? You're fighting in your lane, not across map. Every time you go across map, you lose that lead. Okay, that's nothing too big. That just something that happens. Green leaves, which is super unfortunate. Okay, you get so much money when you attack your lane. Just look at that, so much. Okay, this is when the problem arises, okay? Trigger takes out top right first. Yes, granted they left, but you could have taken out your lane a long time ago. So now you've got bottom left, who is going to be aggroing you because you've been fighting them all game, and now they can focus on you as well. And now your teammate has no feed and has no score and is now useless in this game. Okay. This is also another decision that I'm not sure of, okay? Okay, so Trigger obviously understands that you can get a lot more feed when you're doing your lane. So he's down here taking out this lane. Why don't you guys just join him? You guys could have taken advantage over mid. You had the supply advantage. Yes, he is building a tank, but if you'd have just let them help you take out bottom left, I think you guys still would have been in a good position to win, even though blue had a much higher score than your teammate, because you could have done a better job of holding mid or taking mid, in my opinion. So let's watch it. Bad choice. Take out your lane, man. Take out your lane. Your teammate can't even feed off the bottom left because he's so weak. Look at your supply advantage. If you did not... Whoops. What the... Okay. Just a smidge bitten. Okay. You have a supply advantage. You can hold mid. Look at that. But you've got these guys to worry about as well. Okay, at this point it's too late, right? Don't know what happens with Okay, now you take out bottom left. That was 10 minutes, 15 minutes too late. You could have done this a long time ago. Taking them out. Okay, look at this. Even at this point, look, you are what? You're a double blue score. Now let's look at the upgrades. Yes, yours are a little bit better. Not by much. Blue can literally fight you. He can defend against you just fine because he went for upgrades, whereas you went for, look at all that. You're going for supply here. I personally disagree. I think you should go for upgrades. Trigger went for upgrades, and he was able to do a lot more, in my opinion. And he had this tank. See, look, blue can take you. All right. So the big things from this replay is obviously stay in your lane. That's the biggest one, and communicate that to your partner. Super important. Shizzle isn't a bad player. If you were to tell him to stay in his lane, I think he would. By him staying in his lane, he would have limited Trigger's feed. You were dominating your lane down here, and you would have cut off Blue's feed. You could have fed off of Blue, but you spent way too much time up here in their territory. That's the reason why they won this game. It's because you spent way too much time across map. Every time they came across map, you guys got a lot of money from it, but more often than not, you guys were up here. If you'd have taken out your lane, they wouldn't have been attacking you there at the end. You'd have gotten that feed. You'd have gotten an early lead, like a very big lead from taking out their bunkers. Had all this room to expand. So spend more time in your lanes. I think you guys would have easily handled that game if you would have stayed in your lanes. All right, and thank you for watching, guys. I hope you guys learned a few things from this. And as well as you, Otacon. Thanks for sharing this. That was really good to watch.